and welcome back to another episode of the Crazy Stupid Marketing Show. The show where we talk about all the crazy stupid stuff that people do in marketing and how you can not do crazy stupid stuff, but can do awesome, meaningful, aligned stuff with your time, effort, energy, and budgets in marketing. And today, I love our topic for today because we are talking about when marketing motion doesn't equal momentum. And if you are watching us live, you can take your own little secret poll. You don't necessarily have to vote in the chat and admit anything. But if you've ever found yourself doing marketing stuff that you're like, what does this stuff do for me? Whether you're a business or whether you're a solopreneur, I feel like this is a thing that happens. And so today we're going to talk about what are some of these things that keep us stuck on the hamster wheel of just doing marketing motion that doesn't take us where we're trying to go, and how can we convert that energy into things that can actually give us momentum to move us closer to our goals. Because for I think most of you probably checked out the show before or know a little bit about me. I'm a big believer that marketing is a revenue generation activity. And if the things that it's doing, all this motion, isn't actually contributing to generating revenue, then we probably don't need to do it. And we might be able to spend our time doing something else. So this is the area that we get to play in today. If you are joining us live, we would love to know that you are here. Please share questions, thoughts, comments, perspectives, insights in the chat. Regardless of where you're watching us, that chat is available to you. And we will see the chat regardless of where you are chatting from, which is really great. And there's a pretty common marketing behavior of watching a live stream or a video or things like that and just kind of consuming. One of the things we're practicing here today is an active trying on of ideas. So if you are here joining us, this isn't just we are pretty entertaining, so you can be entertained, but there's an opportunity for you to try on these ideas as we go, so that by the time we get to the end of the conversation, you have something that's really resonating with you that you can actually try in your business. This is the goal. So if we all come in with that goal, then perhaps we will have it delivered at the end. I will make a prompt for you at the end, again, about that as well. I think that's all the housekeeping. So let's get right into the conversation. I'm really excited to be joined today by another phenomenal authentic brand strategist, Funke. Yes, so good. Who has the funky glasses that I'm always so excited about. So Funke, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you into this path of where you're currently focusing now?
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. I love my glasses too.
Everybody loves, if you're here, vote if you love Funke's glasses as well. We're going to get 100% votes.
All right. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for having me on the show. And by way of introduction, my name is Funke Jaiyeola. I'm based in Sweden, the third largest city in Sweden. So I'm going to flex a little on that. I live in Malmö, and I work as a brand strategist. And I started being a brand strategist in 2021. Before this, I was in marketing, like a generalist sort of, but more with digital marketing. And I worked with tech companies and SaaS, a little bit in the life sciences and medical devices as well. And so what led me to becoming a brand strategist? Well, it's a combination of things that culminated into the final decision to, okay, this is the area I want to focus on. So, growing up, I actually loved meeting people, talking with them, and just actually knowing what exactly is it that makes you tick. And I wanted to be a radio presenter, but that didn't work out. Story for another day. So I ended up working in the bank as a customer service person. And I noticed working in the bank back then in Nigeria that, every problem that we had, they usually try to solve it with more marketing.
Mm.
Like, just it felt like throwing spaghetti at the walls. And there was actually not much happening because they sold a different promise and people came and they got something else. I remember one of the adverts that the bank that I worked in then, a lot of people in Nigeria know them. The bank is now defunct, but one of the adverts that they had then was that one day a cars would drive on waters at this bank. We're already thinking like that. But when customers would come in, there was always system failure. There was always so one of the crazy stupid thing. I mean, let me just start already that you can do in your marketing is overpromise and under deliver. That will break momentum. You can sound all as clever as you want. You can, be the smartest in the room, pull them in, and when they come and they get meh, you be sure they're gonna tell 10 other people who will tell 10 other people. And then, you know. So this I started to notice this. I like, companies that overpromise with and then over deliver. What kind of brand are you building? I mean, you've got all these lovely things, very shiny objects, but where is the substance? And then coming to Sweden, and started working, and the final straw that broke the camel's back, and I know the straw is too weak to break the camel's back. But in
Until
this
there's too
case,
many other straws on the back.
yeah, they were a combination of straws. Broke the back. They were glass straws. So, and then, I got to work with this startup that was at that point at the scale up stage, and I really loved the work, and I was doing marketing. So another crazy stupid thing that you can do that creates motion but not necessarily momentum is when you have a marketing budget to feel like you need to spend it all. I mean, many people may not agree with me, but here is one of the things that I found problematic. Like, and hear me out. When you do this, I think a lot of the times the quest to sort of want to finish the marketing budget just makes you take in all kinds of leads, even the ones that are not qualified for whatever it is you're selling. So, like, you've got a lot of motion, you're pulling in the leads, but how qualified are they? And this brings me back to the back end, not putting the right things in place before venturing into spending, when you're doing paid marketing. And we're going to get to organic marketing later. I feel like I'm talking a lot, but this is something I'm very passionate about.
This is
So,
why I
yeah,
invite passionate people to the show, so they just talk about stuff.
thank you. I don't get to talk much, so writing is not the same as talking.
It's true.
So,
It's true.
I sort of like, okay, you want me to spend all the budget? All right, fine. But then there is the brand book. There are all this research that have been carried out by Gardner Marketing and all of that. And I noticed something, and I find that this is also a common challenge with a lot of businesses. There isn't much trust in your brand, but you still want to sell.
Mm.
And so you throw more money into marketing. But then there is the other problem. It's still there. Money is not going to solve that problem. There are other activities that you can engage in, much like maybe more brand awareness campaigns, like, this is who we are, this is what we represent, this is what we're promising, and our word is our bond. You can hold us by our word. And all of those other activities that actually move the needle rather than, the motion that gets in all the leads that are very unqualified and, you know,
I
and then
mean, you make a lot of really good points here. And so I just want to go like quickly to the chat because there's like a couple really fun things happening here. So Jen is saying, not sure I've ever been in a place where I had extra marketing budget, but I aspire. but this is interesting, right? 'Cause how are we thinking about this? And I think a lot of times from a like solopreneur or a small business point of view, you might actually have a fairly tiny budget,
Mm,
but there's a lot of things that you can do with a small budget if
yeah.
you are like very cognizant of a lot of the things that Funke is talking about in terms of that like brand experience component. And I love that Emily is admitting we can all be busy fools. um, it's true, and but this is a common practice, right? This is not. I feel like this is what happens when we take the intention out of it, right? It's very easy to actually fill a day, whether that's a work day in general, whether that is like specific marketing motions, whether it's like our life outside of work, right? It's very easy to fill up time. And unless we're being like pretty intentional with what we're putting into our time slots and
Mm,
looking at how like what does this motion do? Does it create Tasmanian devil that like spins me into the ground and does nothing? Or
mm,
is it actually something that's moving me closer to my goal? And am I creating enough time to ask those questions?
mm,
Because again, it can be very easy to say, like, well, I got to post on this social platform and this social platform, and I got to have a podcast, and I got to write a book, and I got to like do all these things. And I got to be at this trade show, and then I'm
mm.
gone for an entire month of trade shows, and then so I can't do any other. And you're like, wow, guys, just
Yeah,
like, whew, just whoa
yeah,
there,
yeah.
right?
And that's really true as well, Tracy. I found out one common mistake that now let me talk about entrepreneurs. Like I've been talking about maybe mid to small scale businesses, but like entrepreneurs, one of the mistakes, the common mistakes that I've found from the people that I've worked with is this thing to want to follow every trend online. Just because, and this is one thing we all need to keep in mind: the fact that it works for me does not mean it will work for Tracy.
Right.
We have, I mean, like we want to live these templated lives and just sort of pass on templates. My journey is not your journey. The kind of people you're serving probably maybe interlopes, or yeah, but then you have your unique way of doing things. And my unique way of doing things, if I pass it on to you, it's you know
It
and
doesn't
maybe,
fit. It's like clothes, right?
yeah,
Or glasses. Glasses
yeah,
is a really good example, right? Because if you wear glasses, which
mm,
clearly both of us do, right? There's specific styles and shapes and sizes
yeah,
of frames that fit
yeah,
your face, but also that like you like when you look at
mm,
yourself, right? Like you put
mm,
them on and you're like, yes, this looks
this is it.
funky. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with it. Like I keep talking about the last pair of glasses that I got, which are not these. These are like my work glasses. But the last pair of glasses I got are like the ones with the unbreakable frames. Like you can bend them and they're crazy because I have two young nieces that haven't learned to respect my glasses yet. So I'm like, this is my glasses for that thing. And we choose them for different reasons. But because
Mhm.
we're choosing them for ourselves, we know like I need a specific prescription. If
Yeah.
I like if Funke wears my glasses, maybe you still can't see because they're not yours, they're mine.
Mm,
And if we look at things that way, we actually have like quite a good practice of doing that
mm,
in specific use cases in our
mm,
personal lives. And then when we extrapolate that to choosing marketing efforts, somehow we forget that. And we're like, oh no, those are really cool glasses. I'm gonna just wear those glasses. And then you're like, yeah, but you cannot safely drive if you're wearing those glasses because they're not your prescription. And you're like, no, it's fine. I'll just like fake it till I make it, right? And like you're gonna
mm.
fake it until you crash your car right into someone else, which is probably hurting everybody instead
Yeah.
of helping anybody.
Yeah. And I really love the example of the glasses. And as you were talking about the beauty and everything, I'm like, okay, that's what most people focus on. I mean, I love the shape of our glasses, but the prescription is the most important part of it. If you've got very bad sight, you can love certain shapes of glasses. It's still, I mean, your lenses won't fit in that, which
Right.
means you need to adjust your choice to that.
Yep.
So there is a lot of moving parts that many people don't take into consideration, like your location, who you're targeting. Are those people whose advice you're following, or the trends you're jumping on, do they actually fit your purpose, the goals that you have, the kind of, opportunities you're trying to attract, and all of those things? I feel like people, like you said, put those in the back burner and just focus on the now without actually thinking about the long game.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, and I think too, like when you think about the long game, which first of all doesn't have to be as long as I think everybody imagines it when they
mm,
say the long game, right?
mm,
Like it's an intentional play is the
yeah,
point, right? Like I'm intentionally trying to create something in the future, and here's the things that I'm going to do.
yeah,
There's so many things where we just I'll use posting on social media as an example, right? It's because
mm,
like everyone's like, okay, social media, can't have a business anymore if you unless you post on social media. And I'm like, pretty sure the like vegetable stand down the street isn't even on Facebook, right? Like it's and they're always sold out of vegetables. Like
mm,
there's other components to this, but the what is your goal? What are you trying to do? And I love this example because a friend of mine years ago, so a intuitive eating coach, trying to help people like build a healthier relationship with the food that they eat.
mm,
And she signed up for this bro marketing program that was like, we're gonna like do a webinar funnel and blah blah blah. And they
mm,
had like they helped air quotes for those of you who are just listening, helped her create this webinar,
mm,
which was like literally a white slide with black words and her talking behind it. So like didn't even see your face, right?
mm,
And I'm like, okay, I mean, I feel like that's weird in a relationship business, but
mm,
okay, fine. And then they like by the end of the program, they had actually convinced her that she needs to be a weight loss coach because people want to buy weight loss. They don't want to buy intuitive eating. And I was like, this took her completely away from the reason why she wanted to have a business in the first
mm,
place. And there was all of this like pressure tactics of like, if you don't do this, you'll never make any money. And you're a single mom and you need to feed your kid. And I was like, whoa, like what is happening
mm,
here? Like, this is nuts. And this doesn't work. I don't know. I was looking at it and I'm like, who does this work for? I can't imagine that this like program actually works for anybody. But like, okay, it must have worked for a handful of people somewhere. But this is not, it doesn't fit you, right?
yeah,
Like, it's the wrong prescription. It's like if you're a size 10 and you're trying to fit into like size 0 jeans because that's good, right? Like that should be the thing that we want. And you're like, but you can't, you don't fit, you can't fit. Sorry. And you can carry around all of that, like, I don't fit, I should fit, I should be
mm,
like this, and I should be like this. But at the end of the day, like, you can't, I can't. I make this joke for, I don't know if those are like, if you guys don't know Russell Peters, he's a Canadian comedian. And he does this bit where he like, so like quite large Indian man, went to China, needed to get a pair of shoes.
mm.
So he goes to the store and he is like, I need a size 11. And the lady looks at him and is like, how about size 9? And he's like, how about I can't negotiate my foot size with you? Like, you can't, right? Like, I can't control the size of I can't make my feet smaller so they fit into your marketing program, you guys.
Mm,
But
yeah,
like, these are things that we're doing all of the time. And
yeah,
there's information that we are collecting that says this is
mm,
not for me, right? This selling methodology or this marketing methodology, it doesn't feel good. I don't like it, but I have to do it. You guys,
yeah,
you don't. Permission from Tracy and Funke to not do that. Right? Like, you don't have to. There's not a one thing that you have
yeah,
to do. There is a something you have to
mhm,
do. If nobody knows you exist, then like you're probably not going to be able to help that many people. But showing the world, like, what would you do?
mm,
What fits you? Go try on some stuff And if it doesn't
Yes.
fit, throw it out. Well, don't have to throw it out, but like give it to someone else. Like
Mhm.
it's for someone else. It doesn't have to
Mhm.
be for you. Move along.
Yeah. Yes, Tracy. And yeah, I mean, one other thing that I have also found is, this thing of looking at having these lofty dreams,
Mm,
which are not in themselves bad.
right.
For instance, looking at brands that are already made, and we just want to be where they are right now
Right.
without knowing the things that happens backstage, like behind the scene. What are the things that are put in place, and then someone comes on, and I love this example that someone said about, people will tell you, uh I mean, that there's a way something works. Not that that's wrong. They are often wanting to sell you a course about that thing. So I recently attended a webinar where it was like create digital products, and you're gonna make this much and all of that, but you're trying to sell me your software
Right.
that makes you millions creating your digital products. And the trick is that you're selling the software to make your money. Your products that you are telling others to create are not making you the money. Do you see the trickery there? And a lot of people fall for these things. Like, just because I maybe have 30,000 followers, they feel like every word that comes from, everything I post, even if it's a full stop, is the ultimate truth.
Mm,
And so a lot of people blindly follow all of this advice without actually checking with, again, your journey. I mean, you've got your journey, and I'm not saying don't take advice, because yes, that's why we have people like you, people like me, strategies, and all of those people to help you with that. And that is where personalization comes in. Someone that actually knows your journey
mm,
can look at where you are and then help you map out how to get to the next stage. Whereas we sit online and we're just consuming, and some people will tell you post more, post at this time, and it feels like a constant hamster wheel. You're just spinning and spinning, and there is no progress, just a lot of movements.
yeah.
It's it's
And it
yeah.
burns. Like I love the concept of like the motion versus momentum, right? Because both of them burn calories, right? So whether we're like when it's actual motion, it's burning physical calories, but these activities, they're burning mental calories, they're burning emotional calories, they're burning social calories, right? Like they're burning calories of sorts.
Mhm.
And so this is why I remember, and I see this still on social media when people are just like commiserating about how much marketing sucks, but I have to do marketing. I have to do it, right? Like I really don't want to, but I'm going to do it. And I remember commenting on a post right once, and I was like, but you don't have to hate it. Maybe you just hate like the activities you're currently doing, but
Yeah.
like the activities you're doing aren't like
Mhm.
holistic marketing, right? Like
Mhm.
there's a lot of different options, and we get caught up. This happens because we give ourselves permission for it to be hard, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't like it, but we have to do it. So, like, then all of the things that you end up doing, you've already pre decided that you don't like it, but you have to do it. And then
Mhm.
that's what it ends up feeling like instead of saying, okay, well, I did that thing and I didn't like doing that thing.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to do that thing. I know I have to
Yeah.
do something, but what else could I try? And
Yeah.
again, like, I think this is where the like interesting difference comes in between like somebody who is interested
Mhm.
in who you are and what journey you're on
Mhm.
versus someone who's like, I represent ABC CRM company and you need this. Like you guys know it's like that's not helpful for everybody. So like
Yeah.
what could be helpful for this person? What might match you? What feels
Mhm.
fun for you? What
Mhm.
is easy for you? And how can we take what's fun and easy and turn it into something that can like show the world what it is that you do? Because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, there is a lot. My brain is like taking this in two different directions, so I'm gonna have to pick one. But like, there's a lot of things that we do to fill our time,
Mhm.
right? Like, I should be doing something, right? Like, I don't want to. heaven forbid that I am an entrepreneur and I fill my entire funnel without working 80 hours a week. Ooh, right? Like that would be terrible. No, that'd be great. Actually, a lot
Yeah.
of like to do that. Are you interested in figuring out how you might?
Mhm.
Because we can talk about it.
Mhm.
But also, there's so much like societal obsession
Yeah.
with productivity,
Yeah.
right? But if we're really breaking down productivity or efficiency or effectiveness or any of those things that you want to look at,
Mhm.
this is based on effort by time spent, right? So when we're talking about motion, that's a lot of effort in
Mhm.
a lot of time.
Yeah.
Right? The ratio isn't actually very good.
Yeah.
Right? What we want to do is we want to do more impactful things in less
Very
amount of
short
time.
time. Yes. Yes.
And it's possible to do that with a like whatever budget you have, right? Like
Mhm.
so maybe you have a big budget, maybe you have a non-existent budget. With
Mhm.
whatever budget you have, it's possible to be more intentional with your
Mhm.
marketing time,
Mhm.
which might to begin with look like less motion
Yeah.
because I have less motion happening. I am
Mhm.
now a hamster standing on the wheel being like, this wheel isn't going anywhere. Right? Like maybe I should look at this like hinge that's
Mhm.
keeping it in place because
Yeah.
if I got that off, then I could actually roll my wheel and I could
Mhm.
do those motions again, but they're
Mhm.
actually going to take me somewhere this time.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Mhm.
And I think that's the permission that people miss quite often. It actually came up in the episode last week too about like what's the role of slowing down.
Mhm.
We're like so obsessed with motion that we
Yeah.
like end up caught up in just doing motion to be moving, but we're
Mhm.
not moving anywhere meaningful. And being
True.
able to like give ourselves permission to like slow down and or stop,
Mhm.
mostly create space to do the investigation of
Yeah.
what is not allowing that motion to go forward.
Mhm.
Um, this is where the answers and the experiments lie in being
Mhm.
able to like just say, oh, there,
Yeah.
let's look.
I mean, you make very great points, Tracy. And talking about motion and wanting to do all of this stuff, I want to use myself as an example. When I started posting on LinkedIn, I mean, when I started my business, I've been on LinkedIn for like donkey years, but it was not a platform that I felt inclined to. And when I started my business, I attended a useful webinar where I got to know that, oh, things can happen for you on LinkedIn. But then this is where I got caught up in the trap of, but you've got to post every day. And I did this for, I think, a year, but the results were not commensurate with my efforts. The
Right.
time that I plugged in, and I was getting all of this comments and everything, but you know, I felt like a star. And of course, LinkedIn, I don't know, they saw me and said, "Oh, she deserves to be a top voice." But what is a top voice when what you're actually gunning for, you're not seeing it? So
Right.
there's all this movement and possibly some momentum, but it's not the right kind. It's
Mm.
not what works for you. And so I had to like take some steps back and like, no, this is not working. I'm not doing this. I got burnt out. I felt like anxious about coming to LinkedIn. It was a lot of negative emotion and so much. And I decided, no, I'm not going to follow nobody's advice. I don't care what time the algorithm is awake and happy. I'm going to do me. And when I write in a way that actually, talks about what I know to work with the people that I've worked with. And I mean, if you want to work with me and you see yourself in this, you're going to get in touch. I don't need to chase like and start running like everybody's running. I mean, AI has made it so easy, like everyone can write now.
Mm. Well,
Everyone.
I
Like,
feel like there's some like marketing tech narratives that have convinced us that we can all use AI to write, and we're gonna leave that for another episode.
yeah, I mean, air quotes on that.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone can write. And I once told someone, like, some ghostwriters now are like they're singing karaoke. It's just like a repetition of and you sort of see the things and you're like, okay, chat, is that you? So,
Well,
yeah.
and like this is the thing too, right? Is we also humans at this point are on high alert for things that don't feel authentic. And it's
Mm,
not actually been the case historically because there
yes.
hasn't been so much fake stuff
Yeah.
before. So people didn't have to be on high alert for not real stuff. And now, like my son is 8 and he's already like, that's AI, right? And I'm like yeah, it is. Right? And it can be helpful in arenas and it
Yeah.
can be like very hindersome,
Yeah.
especially when we like look at a lot of ways it's currently being used in marketing and sales.
Yeah.
That's not that it can't be used meaningfully in marketing and sales. It's just like it replacing a human interaction. It's
Mm,
not a thing. It doesn't do that, right? Like it doesn't do the thing. So like there's parts of it it can serve. There's humans it can
yeah.
help.
That's
But
yeah.
again, this is not an AI episode. But the
No.
point is that again, when it comes back to this motion, right?
Yes.
Like
And so where
we're
was going? Yeah.
yes,
Sorry. Sorry to interrupt you. And so, like a lot of, well, I don't want to be to generalize, but many people think that they have to post more, and post more is not a strategy. And there are other activities that you can do. Yeah, it's not a strategy. There are other activities that you can do that would actually move things forward and drive you more towards your goal without, your feel like your soul is being drained out of you. For instance, you could be better at talking to people. Why don't you look for networking events that you can go to and actually go meet people, talk to them, drop your cards with people, and I'm not saying don't post on LinkedIn. I post on LinkedIn, but I'm not going to die on that eel. No, I do it when it's convenient for me. The only thing is that I post my newsletters on Wednesday. Every other thing is very flexible.
I know because
Super
I was
flexible.
like, "Funke, can we move the time of this?" And she's like, "That's when I normally post my newsletter."
that's, that's but like every other thing is sort of flexible. And yeah, but so like look for other things. And this comes to the point where we actually need to sit down with ourselves and actually write down the things that you've been doing and sort of draw up like what are the things, the results that I've gotten from this activity, and the one that gives you little or no result, I mean, that doesn't measure up to the activity, please cross it out and move it to the bottom of the list and push up those other activities that have the potential to drive you more towards your goal. And there are a lot of them. It's just a matter of sitting down and actually looking like, okay, when I'm working, sometimes I have gazillion tabs open. Am I using all the tabs at the same time? No, it's so it's the same. There are certain things that are not useful. They feel useful, but they are not useful, or they could be useful potentially when you have other things in place. Get those other things in place first, and then come back to that and get the results that you need from it. So,
Yeah, I think again, like you make such a good point. First, in that, like we hear these things like post every day, post at the same time every day. And I know I've used this I've used this example on this show before, but like a friend of mine is a vulnerability coach was like, I'm going to do vulnerability moments every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And I was like, how do you know you're going to be feeling vulnerable every Tuesday at 10 o'clock? And he was like, well, I wouldn't. And I'm like, well, do you want to like share a vulnerability moment when you're actually in vulnerability? Like, what's the point of the vulnerability moment? And he was like, oh, yeah. I was like, do they come up on schedule? And he was like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, it would be more helpful. I like to talk about content from a repertoire point of view. So, like, I don't have a thing that goes, even this show, right? Like, sometimes it's in the afternoon, sometimes it's in the morning, most of the
yeah.
time it's in the afternoon, but like, um, I'm not locked into anything because like I want to go where like my guest has energy and space and all these things. I like to do Wednesdays because that works for me. I'm generally at home. But like there's days when I'm not at home and then I don't do a show. Right? So there's permission within all of these like possible structures,
Mm,
which aren't a terrible recommendation, right?
mm,
Like yeah, if you're posting every day, you probably will get more traction. That's true. The algorithm likes that, right? The
Mm.
algorithm likes you posting, but the algorithm likes it because it's good for it,
For
not
hate, yeah.
because it's good for
Good
you,
for you.
right?
Thank you.
And so you also have to balance that with what is good for me. When I want to share something, when I feel called to share something, awesome.
Mm,
If you go
mm,
for like 3 weeks
mm.
and you feel not called to share something, then maybe look at what are the inputs that like make you feel passionate about
Yeah,
things to share.
yeah.
And maybe that's what you need more of
Mm.
instead of more posting every day and spending all of these emotional calories looking at the little blinky line being like, what am I going to write today? Like, that's just stressful for everybody. I don't do that
Yeah.
either.
Oh, and many people liked my post when you're not gunning to be an influencer. So
Well, but again, like these are the things where like we get convinced that that's success, right? The
mm,
platform, because the platform wants you to post.
yeah.
That's its game, right? It wants you
Mm,
to be on the platform for longer. It wants you to post. It likes if you get good traction because then it
mm,
gets more people to spend more time on the
yeah.
algorithm. This is how the algorithm works.
Yeah.
It's out for itself, right?
Mm,
But when we go and we say, and I say this all the time, like I write articles mostly once a week. Again, I don't have hard rules. So most weeks, not all weeks.
mm,
When I have something that I feel passionate about exploring, and I have an
mm,
idea I'm passionate about exploring, because for me, writing allows me to develop my thoughts. And
mm.
then if I'm writing to develop my thoughts, I might as well show that to the people because I wrote it. Might as well share it with people. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody gets an insight from it too.
Mm,
And usually it's like 2 or 3 people. I'm
mm,
connected to like 14,000 people on LinkedIn. Usually it's like 2 or 3 people that like really resonate with the topic
mm,
for the
mm,
day. And first of all, I don't post it because of that. I post it
mm,
to explore my thoughts so I can take that composed thought out into my world and to
mm,
serve the way I can serve. But then I like there's a side benefit of someone
mm,
else being able to do that. Also, double benefit of you being able to see how I explore thoughts.
yeah.
And if you're like, ooh, I like the unique
That's
angle of
things.
that, then
Mm,
like, yeah, cool. Let's
yeah.
come and read more of my stuff. Come be
Yeah.
on the show. um, that's the point. It's a like
Mm,
a potential conversation starter, but it originates because I want to do it,
yeah.
not because someone told me I have to, which
Mm,
is the stupid part of crazy, stupid marketing,
mm.
right?
Yeah.
Someone told you have to post every day, and that's why you're doing
Yeah.
it. You're not
Yeah.
posting every day because you want to post every day.
Yeah. And you know that's it's the call. It's the call. Yeah. I mean, do it because you want to do it because it's meaningful for you. And that's why I like Simon Sinek's start with why. It's why are you doing what you're doing? I mean, that's why I said, when to how we can get off the bandwagon of doing the crazy stupid things is first being honest with ourselves. Like sit down with yourself, and at that point I think then if you need help, you realize, okay, maybe I do need a marketing specialist, maybe I do need a strategist, maybe I do need a coach, a business coach or something, but you first need to start with yourself and then get down those things and sort of there are times that we may need help, but I know that there are also times that if we're really being honest with ourselves, we see that there are certain things that we're not doing it because we want to. It's
Right.
because they said that is what works.
Right.
And we may get lucky, it may work, but then the soul, the kind of connection you feel when it's something that you actually want to do, it's missing. And that's why you
Right.
find that a lot of people are successful on paper, but the satisfaction that comes, because I believe that most of us that are entrepreneurs, we started, yeah, I want to make money, yeah, but that is not usually the primary reason. There is always something else in addition to wanting to make money, but that other thing that pushes you, then you no longer see the satisfaction, and that is why a lot of people become disenfranchised with what they're doing because you are following a crowd and it's a lot of different things pulling you in different directions. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, and I think this is the interesting thing again on the slowing down is that like first of all, I think this actually as I'm saying this, I'm thinking that this is actually important. The important thing is that like what we like and what drives energy for us is relevant data, right? So we
Yeah.
have all this other data out there, people being like, do this because it
Mm,
works. Well, first of all, I will tell you right now, the reason that works for that person is because it is aligned with who they are as a person, and that's what they would do. That's why it works for them, which is not, that's true. They're not lying. It does
mm.
work for them, but
Oh,
we
damn, yeah.
are missing this like underlying alignment factor,
Mm,
right? What I do isn't going to work for everybody.
true.
Like it works for me because I'm me. And the
Yeah.
number of times I've had a client that's just like, I just need to be more like you. And I'm like, nope. Because what will happen is you will get into a contest of who gets to be the best Tracy Borison. And I am going to win every single time because I am more Tracy Borison than you are
Yeah.
ever, than you could
Yeah.
ever be. Right.
True.
So the best thing for you to do is be more you. And there might be a journey that's involved there, right? Like figuring out what we would do, where we get our energy from, how we harness that into
Yeah.
marketing, right? This is
Yeah.
the journey and the exploration that we get to go on. But that also leads into this ability, which like will make us our like final point for today because we could talk for a very long time. Is this because you've mentioned the concept of chasing a couple of times, right?
Mm,
Okay, so when we think about the concept of chasing things, or if you imagine you're in like Times Square or some like place with lots of people, right? And
mm.
there's like ideal clients, quote unquote, ideal. Again, I have a rant on that. We'll save for another day. If you watch the show, you've probably heard me do it. And there's a person over there, and there's a person over there, and there's a person back there, and there's like two people that are walking away over there.
Mm.
If you feel like you have to chase all of that,
Mm.
just thinking about it, how exhausting is that?
Yeah.
This freaking, it's exhausting just to think about it. And that's 5 people. I give you 5 people. Not all these people who think like, I need to get 100 new clients a month, right? Like you guys, I gave you 5 and you're already exhausted in your head thinking about chasing those people.
Yeah.
So what if we didn't chase,
Mm.
right? Chasing is a lot of motion. Right? There's
Yeah.
a lot of motion that goes into chasing all of those people. What if we didn't do that?
Yeah.
What if we stood in the middle of Times Square and started singing? I'd pick your maybe you have a guitar, right? Like whatever. But like you do a thing you would do. If you would sing, I will rap Vanilla Ice. This is what I would do. So like this is what I would do. And then people see that. People see that. There's a whole bunch of people that walk by being like, I don't want to know that person. That person's crazy. Like just walk as far away as possible. But there's some people that are like, ooh, that's great.
Like,
like I like Vanilla Ice. I would really love if people doing like wrapped Vanilla Ice with me. That would be the best version of that. But like unless you're doing what you would do, you don't get the people who would do what you would do to stop and look at you. And I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to chase a single person, right? I'm standing in place that looks like calorie conservation, right? But it conserves calories because I'm doing what I would do. I'm probably singing my guts out and like having a great time doing it. But there's an opportunity when we look at motion like that we, if we want to lead in our industry, in our market, by example, right? Like if we identify at all as leaders, then that is not chasing motion, right? Like the chasing motion is preventing us from leading. So what if, again, you slow down enough to say like, what would I do? And then we were just brave enough to try that. You might be surprised at the results. And again, the motion is less movement, but more impactful movement, which is actually the thing that drives the momentum.
Yes. True. True. Nothing to add to that. You said it all.
Well, and I, again, like we would like to say, there's nothing too hard to that. Conceptually, it's not complicated. The complicated thing is that we have all of these external factors telling us that the motion is what matters. The motion is important, right? And then we become important as the people because we're doing the thing.
Yes.
Outside people say the motion is important. I'm doing the motion, so that makes me good. I'm executing well. I've done a good job. Right? I have this actually in a team I'm working with right now, this concept of good job. I'm like, what is a good job? Because this is happening, and yeah, that is good. Could be perceived as good. Society would perceive it as good, but is that actually where we're trying to go with that? Is that or like you said earlier, is that taking us in the direction that is misaligned with the direction we're trying to go? And it takes intentional question asking. It takes slowing down. I'm getting totally distracted by now the Ice Baby and the vanilla ice cream stuff happening in the chat. But like this is a perfect example, right? Because when I say I'm going to stand in the middle of Times Square and sing Vanilla Ice, right? Like some people would be like, "Who is Vanilla Ice?" And like other people would be like, "Oh my God, Ice Baby!" Right? Like, go ninja, go! And like that's my people.
Yeah,
those are my peeps. Come and hang out with me. I don't care if you want to like sit there and watch me and like cheer me on. This is what my husband does. I'm like, I love him to infinity for it, right? Like, and then I get some other people like at a wedding. Actually, I went to my cousin's wedding, and they had this. They didn't do the tapping glass thing for kissing. They're like, you have to sing a song. If you sing a song for the couple, then they will kiss. So everyone sang all these like romantic love songs, right? And I was like, it doesn't say what kind of song you have to sing. So I rapped Vanilla Ice, and Nicholas, my son, he was like 4 at the time, and he had a microphone too, and he was just going like, Ice Baby. It was like, I really wish there was a video of it somewhere. I don't think anybody took a video, but like, this is fun for me, and it feels fun for other people, and then when the fun is compatible, then we like go and do stuff, right? Like you want to come and watch my show because you're like, Tracy's going to drop some weird thing that I didn't expect was going to come up today, and I'm glad I came for it, right? Like this is the fun. But unless you if you're just showing up and like posting on social every day and doing exactly what your competitors do, right? Like no one can see any of that in you. You don't get to be the leader that you already are. Exactly. And if we just like strip away all of that unnecessary emotion, there's some good stuff underneath there.
True. Can't agree with that.
Okay, Funke, what a wonderful conversation for today. Yes, I know, Meryl. Thank you for being my people. I heard all of you guys coming early, even though I didn't warn you. We're moving the show for today. Funke, if people want to continue to explore the conversation of like how to turn motion into more momentum based on who they are, where is the best place for them to find you?
LinkedIn for now.
You still get the high five, LinkedIn. We're still here. Even though we know your algorithm games, we're still here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sleeping there every day, but when I go in, I'm going to find you, you know. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Funke Jaiyeola. It's www.linkedin.com/IN/FUNKEJAIYEOLA. So that's the name and the web URL address. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and Funke is actually tagged in the post for this event on LinkedIn. So if you're checking us out from LinkedIn, or if you're not and you want to go back to LinkedIn and find the episode, then you can just click on her name and it'll take you right to her profile. And you can say, I saw you on the Crazy Stupid Marketing Show. Let's talk about how to not do crazy, stupid stuff. That would be great. And as every conversation, as I mentioned at the beginning, if you caught us right at the beginning, the opportunity that we create with this show is for you to hear some new perspectives that are outside of those, like, here's the things that everyone needs to do, and if you just do them, you will get the results. No, I don't believe that on the show. My guests don't believe it either. But it gives you an opportunity to hear some things. And so you heard a bunch of things today. Not all of them are supposed to resonate with you. there will be specific things that stick out for you. Perhaps it's vanilla ice. Perhaps it's glasses. I don't know what it is for you, but there's something. And if you pay attention to what that something is, that is the very first exercise in you getting your leadership voice back into the conversation. And you can use that thing to create one small experiment that you could try in the next 7 days. That could stop some unnecessary marketing motion and turn it into some momentum. So I really encourage you guys to do that. Connect with me, connect with Funke. Tell us if you have an experiment that you're actually going to do. I would love to hear it. I know Funke would love to hear it. I would love to hear how it goes. So share that with us. Connect with each other. Stay in the conversation about marketing motion becoming momentum, because very easily it can just become motion. And this is not what we are here to help you guys do today.
Yes.
So with that, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Funke, thank you so much for all of your lovely insights. And until next time, permission to do you.
Bye.